I met this man. He changed my life. I like a 360. Just changed my life, and I love him so much, and I thank him so much, and I'm still learning. I'm learning to be a softer human being, have more compassion and understanding for others. Yeah, I get upset and angry still because people have all this information about this food that's killing them. You know, they're eating this meat and this dairy which is full of poo and blood and parasites, and this meat that these animals are being not only pumped full of all these cancer-causing chemicals and things that are going to kill you, but they're being mistreated, they're being tortured, abused before they're even killed for us to eat. So they have all this information, and they ask me, well, what do you do? How do you get your body like that? Oh my God, you look so great. I said, well, I don't eat animal, I don't eat dairy, and I don't eat anything cooked. Oh, forget that, I need chicken, I need my eggs, I need my whatever. Well, fine, you must want to die. But, you know, it just, I don't understand, and I'm trying to have more understanding and compassion when everyone, the majority of people have this information, they see what's going on. The eggs, 500 million eggs recalled. Why salmonella? You know, beef being recalled, everything being recalled. These GMOs, like Dr. Kazar mentioned, you know, they're killing us. Meats are being made in laboratories now. Best thing to do is grow your own food, because even, you know, another store, which I won't name, was caught marking their food organic when they were getting their food from China and it wasn't organic at all. You know, so be very aware and very conscious of what you put into your bodies. I mean, you know, people spend a lot of money on nonsense, things that's killing them and really isn't going to do anything for their health. Put some money into yourself, invest into yourself, so you'll be around for your friends, for your families, or what have you. Dr. Kazar, in one of our trailer clips of Zen Nation, made a comment. He said, you know, where, which is my favorite part of the movie is, you know, what are you going to do now, huh? You're on the 5th floor. What is your "in God we trust" going to do for you now? Where's it now? Yeah, what is it going to do? You have all this money in the bank, but you're laying in the hospital sick. What is it going to do for you? You know, you're eating this meat, it's making you sick, you're going to the doctor's writing a prescription, keeping the pharmaceutical companies in business, you're going ahead, you're getting this prescription filled, then you have to have another prescription because the prescription that the doctor originally wrote for you is killing you, so you need a prescription to keep that from killing you, and the list goes on and on. Next thing you know, you have this cancer and this diabetes and whatever health problems. You're on chemo, which is killing both the bad cells and the good cells, therefore you're pumping more medicines into your body, just killing yourself until finally you're dead. What's it all for? You know, I'm trying to understand, you know, I really am, but I don't understand when people have the information, they continue to do the very thing that's going to kill them. And I just want to say, please, please wake up to what society is doing, what these pharmaceuticals companies are doing, what these big corporations, meat and dairy companies are doing. They're killing you. They don't want to help you. The government doesn't care. They don't. I'm convinced that they don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't give Monsanto 95% of the seed growth. Farmers are being threatened. If you don't use our seeds, we're going to take your land, or we're going to fine you, or we're going to throw you in jail. And if you use our seeds, you have to use our Roundup pesticides, which are killing people as well. So, you know, just be very conscious of what you put into your bodies. Because I mean, it's only benefiting you. You want to be around for those that you love. You want to be around for yourself. And this has changed my life. I don't feel like I'm 46 years old. What is 46 years old supposed to feel like anyway? You feel as young as you allow yourself to be. Have a lot of energy. I used to break out at me. I don't have that anymore. I used to be tired all the time. I'm full of energy. I don't require too much sleep at all. One time we went to Greece, we didn't sleep for 3 days when we got back because we were all on superfoods. So, you know, these superfoods that Dr. Kazar is explaining to you, the cacao, the goji berries, the tribulus, and everything, and incorporate that with the raw food and then the exercise program, you should be okay.
Give me a little flex to your muscles. I mean, like, it's so funny. People for so many years, they don't know how. The number one question: how do you get your protein? That's BS. You know, you don't need any like extra focus on protein. As long as you're getting like superfoods in your system, your body's like manufacturing whatever you need through, you know, cellular amino acids and like you're feeding your cells on the very low building block. Like the enzymes is what you got to focus on, the living enzymes and these super nutrients. You know, I mean, I have lost size, if people are wondering where my size went, so that I could run quicker, be healthier, faster, and leaner. Like I'm gonna erode a little. But if I do this, you suddenly realize that I am still extremely muscular. And if I do this, I got my bowels clean. You know? So it's like, I couldn't do that before. I used to have a gut. It was like this. I was, you know, you see these bodybuilders walking around, and they're ripped, but I was ripped with a turtle belly, you know? Because it was filled with filth. And so I had to like really, you know, focus on trying to get that out, sticking like things up with hoo-ha and like enemas and like, you know, all this stuff. And I'm sharing it to be comical as well, but the reality is this is what you got to start doing to take care of yourself. You know, you got to get that passionate. And she is very passionate, so she's like a teammate, business partner, Batman and Robin. Dr. Kazar is really Batman. He's Bruce Wayne. He jumped out of you know, his family fortune to start helping us like a vigilante. And so it's like, we have to start being these like fantasizing superheroes to really gain back our lives, to gain back humanity. And that's what we did when we did this Heaven Night. And Vince, who's over there, you go point out Vince, he put this slideshow together because his child had cancer, leukemia. And so he really helped out, and he does help out because I've been assisting him down this path. And now he's vegan, mostly raw. It's been a journey, as Dr. Kazar's pyramid shows you. He's like 90% raw and then slip up a little bit with some rice or something. But they have their own garden now, out the back. So his little daughter, who's 12, has beat leukemia. 1 in 5 kids beat that. She's beat it, and she's getting goji berries and cacao and other superfoods into her daily diet to help her live, because it's clear that the doctors were not helping her to necessarily live. And you know, these are stories that touch your heart, and that's why what happens is when you help people, Vince would help by putting up this site at Organic Life and Fitness. Let's go to another site. Come on back. Okay, so this was the career that Marcus decided to leave because he was like, you know, done getting up 5 a.m. and being around toxic, screaming, smoking people to try and just make a movie about what? Fantasy BS? I want to help humanity, you know? And so I left it. And I will go back to a movie, but only to make something that showcases some form of inspiration that can literally lead the human race into a wake-up. So that's the only thing I'm really interested in, you know, is if a movie will wake humanity up and help us as an entire collective unit change. But I left that behind. Next. I think the David Wolf, davidwolf.com, I always give him a shout out because he's a brother, he's a Muslim brother, and he was so fundamental in turning us both raw. We saw one of his lectures and was just like, wow, read his book, Eating for Beauty. You see all these wonderful Kirlian images of raw food, and you see the difference between life force energy and dead cooked food. And then when David went into the nanobacteria that Robert was talking about, these little blood parasites that hang out and live with shells on them, and they're like tiny little cockroaches waiting for you to eat, and then they come out, and then they start munching on the food you ate. You're like, oh my God, what am I housing here? So, you know, once we saw that 2.5 years ago, we went raw. That's it. No more. And, you know, even the cravings would come up, like, oh man, I crave that. But as Kazar said, you know that craving is from something in you that shouldn't really be there. And if you ride it out, and you know, what Chef Angelica is so good at doing for the clients and me is that she will concoct a dish that's raw, that mimics the food that you were addicted to. And so it's like you're in the Matrix, as Cypher was saying. He said Cypher wanted the steak again. I know it's not really a steak, but I don't care. I want to eat it. Well, she knows how to do things in that kitchen that makes us just go, wow. Like, she has this lasagna she makes out of zucchini and almond cheese and like sun-dried tomatoes, and it's just like so made with love that you just like, and then she warms it to 105, so all the enzymes are still intact. And now we've been adding in the fermented Lucarona yogurt, which is like, it's now enzyme activated cheese with a lasagna. It's like, makes you mouth water, and yet you're giving your body life force, power. So it's like superfood all the time. And Lucarona was the guy, I'm giving him a shout out because this guy has lived on raw foods for 38 years. And I met him, and you know, he came over to the house and just I said, yeah, here's $600, just do something for the kids in this house, because I have a couple of kids hanging with me. And so they all started learning, and this guy's so strong. You know, when you hug Lou, you feel how strong he is. He's like holding his whole body weight up on his fingertips. You're just sold on the fact that this raw food must be the way, you know? And so I gotta give him a shout out, because it's like, without him, I would have never been able to tap into some of this wisdom. Next. Okay, so vegan for me has been 11 years, raw vegan 2.5, these are my activities. Next. And these are all the other shout-outs that I've got. I've got to have Kazar up in there, because this guy is like on point, you know. And Christopher Aaron is ultra-marathon runner over there. He's running like 50 miles in a day on raw food. Lou Corona, probably one of the strongest raw foodists I've ever met. Like, can hang on a bar, take his legs vertical like that, like touch his toes 15, 16 times, and then just hold and talk to you. And you're just like, and he's almost 60. So. Yeah, and it just blows your mind. It makes you go, okay, what's going on here? Why aren't all the other 60-year-olds doing that? And he lives on the fermented. Don Tolman, he will back up what Kazar was talking about. We are tubes. Everything about us is tubular. I always just say, just take a look at your eyeball in the mirror and have a look at it. Look how small, intricate it is. That's your feedback. What you see those tiny little tubes, and you go, wow, that's the blueprint for my brain, my heart, my lungs, my liver. If I put some cheese in that, I wonder how well that's going to function. You know? It's not, is it? Let's face it. So, Don Tolman would back that theory up, because that's what he lives by, venting. Teresa Jordan there, raw food goddess, she lives on juice fasts. She has a beautiful house, and she just runs juice fasts every week. You know?
She's 52.
She's 52, and she's getting younger and younger every time I see her. And I'm like, always like, wow. And they have a hue. Like, Angelic has a hue to her. It's a glow. Dr. Kazar has a hue to him. It's like a glow. It's like that guy's really strong in life force energy. And this is the hue you hear about with these like Christ-like beings back in the day, the halo energy, right? So it matches up, and then you read a book called The Essene Gospel of Peace, and you realize that he was teaching all of these things, which was to cleanse the body and to put a gourd up and clean yourself out and fast and pray and only eat that which is living.